On the edge of the Indian Ocean once lived warrior tribes who waged wars against each other. Their reputation as a fierce and strong people crossed oceans, and centuries back they were prized by Europeans who traded precious metals for slaves. Exploring sites of history, culture, and natural beauty, I am on a quest for treasures. Treasures which tell the story of the people whose heritage are under threat. I am Linda Black, your heritage hunter. Nias, the largest of the islands off North Sumatra, are part of the Indonesian archipelago. The islands rose out of the sea after 12 million years in the confrontation between the Eurasian and Pacific tectonic plates. It is home to the Niasans, who believe they are descended from gods. For them, Nias is Tano Niha, the land of man. I have arrived in Nias via a 34-minute flight from Medan and was greeted by scenes of pristine beauty. But there is no time to linger. I have a mission to accomplish. In Nias, I have to hunt down a wise cat, unravel a code in the Nias language, and perhaps the most intriguing in this land of ancient traditions is search for something or someone called the machine. The main occupation of the Niasan warriors today is farming, but they still live in the same villages which were built like fortresses to repel enemy attacks. Perched at a height of some 270 meters above sea level is the village of Bawah Matuluo. My search for the treasures of Nias begins right here, up these stone steps. But Bawah Matuluo, which means Sun Hill, was not quite the fortress I had imagined. There are no traces of the sharp bamboo stakes which used to line its perimeters, stakes sharp enough to impale invaders. There was, instead, more evidence of the Niasans' lives as farmers who also plant cash crops. Now this is patchouli. And when it's green, it really doesn't have much of an aroma. This lot here is being dried. Later on, it'll be smoked, and then the essence will be drawn from it, and that's where the aroma comes from. But I need to push on for clues to my treasures. Excuse me, do you know anything about a hidden secret code in the language? Gotta keep looking. But I hit a 2-meter stone wall instead, right smack in the middle of the street. In the old days, leaping over the wall was an initiation into manhood, and in the final test, the wall would be crowned with bamboo stakes. If he succeeds, the boy becomes a warrior. It's a skill long past any practical use, but 17-year-old Ajas Bualele feels compelled to uphold the tradition.
Tapi sekarang nggak bisa lagi perang untuk membunuh orang. Tapi saya senang untuk melompat karena saya bisa untuk melompat.
Ajas Bualele is the poster boy of UNESCO's efforts to preserve and revitalize the Niasan heritage, of which the Oma Sebua is the showpiece. The Oma Sebua is the largest house in every village and belongs to the chief, or Siulu, who must be a nobleman. The Oma Sebua represents the Niasan perception of the cosmos. The living area is Middle Earth. The roof reflects the upper world with its window to the sky, a feature which can only be found in Nias. Buried beneath each of the pillars of the underworld, it is said lies a human skull. The Siulu of this Oma Sebua is Moarota Fau, descended from a royal family.
Ini adalah mahkota, dulu terbuat dari emas. Ini khusus pakaian laki-laki atau pakaian raja.
The carvings here are exquisite symbols of power and wealth, which dictates the status of the Siulu and the respect of the people he leads. The status of the Siulu is enhanced every time he pays for animals to be sacrificed. I have learned a lot about the Oma Sebua, but made no headway on my treasures. Before I left, I was told the wise cat is some kind of carving. At the Museum Pustaka, Deputy Director Natalui Duha introduces me to warrior couture. The museum carries only one-off pieces. This headdress is made from the head of a hornbill, considered the biggest and strongest bird in Niasan war culture and a mark of nobility. The crocodile seems to be the preferred motif of discerning warriors for good reason.
The user of the shield is like a crocodile, it's very powerful.
Wow, there's lots of animals in Niasan culture.
Yes, that's animal. Let me show you another stuff.
Still no cat.
A clutch of animal teeth wraps around the hilt of knives. This one is crafted from fossilized shark's teeth. But for me, it's time to get back to the quest for the cat. Natalui Duha suggests I journey to the birthplace of the Niasans to understand their relationship with the spirits of the animal world. The road to Gomo leads me to the megalith site of Tundrobaho. It is where legend has it that 6 gods descended and became the first men on earth. The Niasans are animists. They believe the dead and the living have an ongoing relationship. These megaliths honor the spirits of their ancestors and the mythical creatures which inhabit their world. I'm looking for my wise cat, but everywhere I look, I am confronted by Nagas, serpent deities from Hindu and Buddhist mythology. It feels spooky, and the caretaker of the site has a chilling story to share.
Contoh ada anak-anak sekolah yang SMA Citra dulu mau studi tour mereka duduk di batu besar itu di Behu, ada gambar burung di atas Behu besar itu jatuh dengan sendirinya tanpa diganggu itu batu. Karena dulu itu yang bisa mendirikan kampung Tudumbaho punya sakti dia. Nah, baru bisa apa dulu kampung Tudumbaho bisa berdiri.
The site has been in Mr. Tela Umbanwa's family for 14 generations and is in desperate need of restoration.
Kalau Behu yang besar itu tidak bisa dipulihkan atau dibagusi lagi dengan tenaga manusia, hanya dengan tenaga kontrolnya itu. Kalau saya sudah meninggal, maka yang menjaga atau membersihkan kampung Tudumbaho itu atau situs megalith adalah anak saya atau anak famili saya yang memang sadar untuk merasa memiliki kampung Tudumbaho.
And I need to call on the spirits if I'm ever to find my treasures. In the villages of the south, the Niasans still call on the spirits of their ancestors in their ceremonies. I am heading to the village of Onahondro, where word has it that a ceremony called the Famadaya Harimau is to take place.
This has been a tricky journey so far, but I feel the presence of the wise cat drawing me closer to the Niasan ceremonies.
Onahondro is not accessible by road, and visitors are rare. Today, there's an air of anticipation in the village. What greets me is the Moga Ele, a welcome ceremony. Yahovu is a greeting of friendship.
It's better than live theater.
I am offered a symbolic gift of betel leaves, which Niasans chew every day just to make me feel at home.
What is this? This looks like what I might have been searching for this whole time.
Legend has it that a fearsome creature appeared at a council meeting of tribal leaders which threatened to spill into war. It commanded the leaders to work out their differences peacefully or face the wrath of the spirits. Since then, the wise cat has come to symbolize blessings for a successful conflict resolution.
My wise cat is not exactly a cat. It's got features from perhaps several different animals, but this is the representation.
Cat found. One treasure crossed off. What's next? Lunch. Alejandro's welcome extended to a meal at the Oma Sebua, and I learned how parents take on the names of their children.
Ama Veronica.
Ama Veronica. Ama, Ina. I'm Ina, so it'd be Ina Ewan would be mine. Yeah. Ah, it's lovely. I like that. I feel very important to have so many names.
Lunch was the hearty fare of warriors.
Smells like potato. I think I had before.
Masih ada si Mongulo.
Yeah, masih dalam labu. Enak.
Yes, the sweet one is very delicious.
Ah, that's is your favorite.
Yeah.
My host is Siulu Yusuf Hondro, and he has invited another nobleman to join us, which gives Rebecca Laya, a true blue Niasan who now lives in town, a chance to brush up on the native dialect.
Ba sofo na mata gamada vai bolu de demi. Buru baga rabi ma enoni rino rainada. Ba ira iwada ba abu suhi. Banehura ya iya buru metamane daga sito ulogo daga gowi talu sagu bulu geu badi bonia ba bulu gowi farasi
I think I'm
ba
getting
bulu
it.
gowi salidi ba fanakhuna kugo de balada ade gama de bible de demi ya mi tome mawai simigama akhakhum
I think I can hear it.
ade ba mata ya mi tome mawai mami migakhum makha.
It's very lyrical. Has something to do with the vowel sounds. Got a question for you. I think I'm understanding a pattern in the language, the Nias language.
Yeah.
Is it that there's vowel sounds at the end of every word?
Yeah.
So I've got it. So it kind of connects the words together, so it makes them go like this.
Yes, that's right.
I did it. It was beautiful to listen to. And after a minute, when I just took a second to listen, you could hear it. Really beautiful pattern. They have a beautiful way of speaking.
We have so many language, so many dialect in Nias, but the one that make us unite it is the way that we pronounce the word. So it is always ending with the vowel.
And with that, I can strike out my second treasure. In the rice fields, it's the women who plant the paddy, and it is a ritual to wash off the morning's toils before they return to the village. I have come to Hilanawalu Fau to explore the waterfalls around the village, which are part of the river trail. Hopefully, it will lead to a clue on the final treasure, the machine. Maybe, just maybe, it's a huge water gusher of a waterfall. I take my lead from the children. This is clearly not my last treasure, but I can't say that I'm disappointed. But it's time to head to Hilanawalu Fau village itself, where I become totally distracted from my mission. It's music to my ears.
UNESCO supports a program to teach the young children Niasan song and dance.
There is in this performance the unmistakable calypso rhythm of island cultures, which has been embraced as world music. Hilinawalu Fa'u is a village attempting to overcome economic poverty while preserving the Niasan way of life. The global economy has arrived in the village, and they have to learn to harness its power. Yoga Wardana has traveled all the way from the Indonesian capital, Jakarta, to address just this issue. He has been working with the village leaders for 2 years, and he is worried.
Well, actually, they're already drifting from their original culture. So they need to revitalize their own culture. Used to be, this is their religion, but we need to replace that. We need to replace that with economic.
Christianity has replaced the animist beliefs of the Niasan, but hasn't quite succeeded in supplanting its practices.
Only a few Westerners have ever seen this. I'm very honored.
So the villagers of Hilinawalu Fa'u can still invoke the warrior spirit of their ancestors in the Maluwaya, the war ceremony. Pigs must be sacrificed, and the more the better. In good times, 10 or more at one go. But these days, even one is a rarity. These warriors are out of practice, and I could hear they had missed their mark the first time around. This was not a clean kill. In the old days, the Maluwaya featured a cast of hundreds, but it's been downsized along with the pigs. The meat distribution is symbolic of the patronage of the Si'ulu, who paid for the pigs. In this village of 1,000, the 2 pigs had to go a long way, especially when choice parts had to be put aside for the traditional feasting. The setting was perfect outside the Omasebua, and I was the guest of honor of the Si'ulu.
And now the feast. What a spread. Now, I've just been given this very special piece. This is, it's pig's blood with rice and salt and bits of the meat, and it's been stuffed into, it looks like the kidney, actually. Oh, it's delicious. Delicious. Is this the special food? Yeah. What's so special about it?
Banyak lagi yang lain, tapi karena bahannya sekarang udah langka, nggak ada lagi.
Because the ingredients now is so difficult to find in the market, so they are not make it anymore.
Really?
Yeah,
So
just
only-
sometimes.
For the special occasion.
Yeah.
When was the last time that you've had it?
Terakhir dihidangkan seperti ini dan saya makan dari tahun 50 sampai ke 60.
In 1950, that kind of
That
food.
kind, this kind. So this is very special. 1950, you said?
Yeah.
Goodness. Do you like it?
Ya.
Do you miss it for so
Yeah.
long?
In the conviviality of the feast, I have almost lost sight of my last treasure. Teluk Dalam is the port town of South Nias. Nias, remote and far from the seat of government, is one of the poorest regions in Indonesia. The town is just a stopover for visitors who arrive by sea and head out to Sorake Beach, just 30 minutes away. Sorake Beach was part of the hippie trail. Then, in 1975, a couple of surfer dudes discovered waves which rivaled that of Hawaii. Maybe the machine is a legendary surfer. I caught a lucky break when I met local surfer Tim Wau.
So the machine isn't a person.
It's just name of the point break. It's there over there. And the waves was so really good. Everyone like it. Well, everyone looking forward to surfing that place because there is really fast waves, really nice fast waves. Pretty sad is that the machine doesn't work now after the earthquake.
Strike 3, last treasure found, or maybe not. The combined force of the Sumatran earthquake in March 2005, so swiftly after the Asian tsunami months earlier, devastated the island. The seabeds rose, the shoreline receded, and Sorake lost the deep waters, which allowed motorboats to moor right up to its shoreline. Post-earthquake, new surfs have taken over, and according to Tim, surpasses the machine.
After the earthquake, it does changes really much. Even getting better. It's a perfect, really right-hander and a more barreling, nice and clean, you know, and then pick up any swirl. And it's really interesting for every surfer. So.
In the aftermath of nature's fury, Nias is starting to pick itself up.
Nias has a lot going for it. Sun, world-class surfing, and natural beauty. And its crowning jewel is the Niasan heritage, which seems to have faded. But with a few good breaks, it just might regain its luster.